level actually shocked me in a way. I actually made it through the level on my first attempt. However, attempts don't actually affect rating, so my rating is still fairly high for it. I give the Castle Keep a 5 out of 10. This is a very middle-in-the-road level. I mean, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and there are a lot of things that can go your way. I mean, the first room, you have to deal with the birds. The first one, you can always jump and be able to whip it. But, like, every time you go through the level, their pattern is different. Each bird is different. I mean, you can still whip down the first one, but every other raven, every other bird has a different pattern that you gotta get used to. I got lucky this time since I only made it through on my first try. Next room, you have to deal with Medusa heads. What I used there was actually a speedrun strat, which reduces lag. And being that you're getting rid of all the Medusa heads, it means I have to deal with much, much less Medusa heads than I ever had to before. Then after that, you get to probably the worst section of the stage, which is that part with the crumpling blocks and having to deal with that bone pillar. At least this isn't the US version of the game because it has more HP there. It requires me to hit it 6 times as opposed to 4, like right here. Therefore, it was a lot easier to take out this time around. The room after that, it's all based on how good you are at dealing with the enemies. Dealing with the skeletons, it's easy. I've never had an issue with dealing with those guys. And the last room is an absolute joke. Which brings us to the Dracula battle. Which after all that pain and suffering, I can only give it a 2 out of 10. That extra point of difficulty mainly goes to the first form being a pest. While he isn't random in how the fire spawns is directly based on where you are standing in the room, getting hits on him can be pretty tricky at times. That's the only reason why, and getting my timing down can be very tricky. Forms 2 and 3 are almost nothing to worry about. Form 2 is a joke, especially in this version of the game where you have the safe spots. In the third form, the lasers are much smaller, meaning that they're much easier to dodge you than the US version per se. So, yeah, this one gives a 2. And with that, we are finished with Castlevania 3, or Akumajo Densetsu, as it's called in Japan. I'm sorry if I've been butchering the name for the last 3 years by calling it Akumajo Densetsu. It's not how you say it, it's Akumajo Densetsu. That's how you're supposed to say it. But anyway, time for the ending. And then I will see you in CV4. This is TF32 signing out, and have a great night.